interesting way to get into the weather, Arlen. Let's talk about Danny for a moment.
Let's do that. We have Tropical Storm Danny, which formed a couple of hours ago in the Gulf of Mexico. Here's where it's located, 475 miles to the south-southeast of the city of Mobile. And the projected path of that storm will take it probably into southeast Louisiana. That's what the computer says, but you know these kind of storms vary their path. So there is a hurricane watch in effect from Port Arthur, Texas now to Mobile, Alabama. A hurricane watch and a gale warning. Now the storm is just a tropical storm, so why the hurricane watch? Well, Danny very likely will become a hurricane sometime during the day tomorrow. And because of that, the National Hurricane Center decided to put this up. The storm will probably make landfall late tomorrow night or in the early hours of Thursday. Now, if you're following Danny, here's the latest information on it. It is located at 23.5 north, 87.5 west, moving northwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. The top winds at this hour, 50 miles per hour, but again, strengthening is quite likely before the storm makes landfall sometime late tomorrow or early on Thursday. Satellite view shows that Danny is not a very organized storm still, just a whole big area of cloudiness, showers and thunderstorms over the eastern Gulf of Mexico. But as we enhance this photograph, you can see the bigger thunderstorms just east of the storm center now. And gradually, the storm will pull itself together as it continues its trek towards the northwest. Well, if you're going to be keeping up to date on Danny, you'll want to know this phone number. It's a service of NBC News, 1-900-410-NOAA. The call will cost you 50 cents, but you can stay up to date on Danny and any other named storm during the hurricane season. A look now at the southeastern satellite view. Not many showers at all in Alabama today. A few, and we'll look at a few on the radar, but generally most communities stayed dry today. On the weather map tonight, high pressure dominating the southeastern U.S. Here's Danny in the southern Gulf, and by tomorrow, this number of showers will start to pick up over the southeastern U.S., so you have a little better chance tomorrow and Thursday of seeing a shower in your community. Meanwhile, the cool air is going to stay to the north, and notice now it is parked. It's not moving in our direction. Well, look at TV 12's color radar scanning from Montgomery, finding not a whole lot of showers out there, but one big thunderstorm in southwestern Monroe County tonight. Also a few little sprinkles here and there, including some sprinkles around the Dothan area, and the movement tonight northwest at about 10 to 15. Temperatures around the state as of this hour ranging from 84 in Mobile to 92 in Selma. It's 91 at Montgomery's Danley Field. Skies are mostly sunny. This morning's low in Montgomery's 71. Today's high 93. We have east winds at 7 now. Humidity 52%. The barometer is falling, and no rain out of Danley Field today. The lake levels for Martin and Jordan are there. Sunrise tomorrow at 6:09, setting tomorrow evening at 7:31. Tonight and tomorrow night, mostly fair with just a 20% chance of a passing shower and a low near 72. And then for Wednesday and Thursday, a 30% chance of thunder showers with a high temperature around 92. More on Danny tonight with Kevin Raymer at 10 o'clock.
Good. We'll be watching. Thanks a lot. Well, Rich, what is the latest on Danny, and now that he is a full-fledged hurricane?
A minimal hurricane at that. As you know, the warnings and the watches for the Alabama coast ended at 11 a.m. today, so if you've been heading to the coast or thinking of heading to the coast, we're okay here in Alabama. However, forecasters are still wondering. Take a look at the latest position on Danny. Danny has certainly kept forecasters guessing. It's been moving northwest for the last couple of days, but as you can see, there's been slight variations in that northwesterly movement. For instance, notice that during the day today, most of the movement has been towards the west, but now, on the latest advisory, there has been a turn towards the north. So forecasters are not exactly sure where Danny will cross the coastline. There is a hurricane warning tonight from Freeport, Texas, all the way to the Mississippi River. That's a pretty big area of warning, indicating their uncertainty at this time. There's also a hurricane watch in between Freeport, Texas and Port Aransas. Now, the latest information on Danny places the center near latitude 26.5 north, longitude 91.3 west. That's 275 miles south-southeast of Lake Charles, and it's still moving northwest at a pretty good clip for a hurricane, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Top winds, well, this is a minimal storm. The top winds now up to 75 miles per hour, but further strengthening is likely as Danny's over very, very warm Gulf waters. August is a warm month out in the Gulf. Take a look now at the latest satellite view we have of Danny. You see the central core here. It is becoming better organized as time goes on. It's not happening quickly, but it is gradually becoming organized. We'll enhance this photograph. Here's where the reconnaissance aircraft found the 75-mile-an-hour winds this afternoon in these squalls just north of the center. And as we further enhance this photograph, you can see heavy thunderstorms are already touching the coastline, South Louisiana, where there's been very heavy rain, portions of South Mississippi, and even into portions of the Texas coast. So Danny continues to be something to watch tonight. We'll keep you up to date. Kevin Raymer will tell you more at 10 o'clock tonight. We'll have another update at noon tomorrow, and you can always dial this phone number and get the latest on Danny, 1-900-410-NOAA. It'll cost you 50 cents for the first minute. Well, elsewhere, here's what's happening on the National Weather Map. High pressure dominating the southeast, but there's cooler air well to the north of Alabama. Unfortunately, it is not heading this way. It may affect the extreme northern portions of the state by Monday, but not affecting Alabama right away. By tomorrow, take a look. A lot of the southeast will be in a disturbed area with Danny coming ashore, disturbances in the upper atmosphere, so our rain chances will be increasing tomorrow. Let's take a look at those. For Alabama tomorrow, rain chances go up in all zones except the southeast, where they stay 30%, but a 60% chance of rain on the coast and 40% here in central Alabama. On Friday, just about the same situation on the rain probabilities. Now we'll look at TV 12's color radar. We're scanning from Montgomery, and we're picking up some thunderstorms, a few with very heavy rain tonight across the central counties, right into east central Mississippi. Also notice numerous thunderstorms along the Chattahoochee River and through southeast Alabama now, and also the coastal sections of Alabama. All of this activity pushing to the northwest at about 15 miles per hour. Temperatures around the state as of this hour ranging now from 77, the cool spot now in Mobile. The warm spot would be Tuscaloosa, where they're in the sunshine at 90 degrees. 86 now at Montgomery Stanley Field, where it's not raining, but they can hear thunder out at the airport. The low temperature in Montgomery this morning, 71. Today's high made it to 93. Winds are out of the southwest at 8 now. Humidity 65%. There's been no rain out of Stanley Field today. Lake Martin and Lake Jordan's level there, along with tomorrow's sunrise and sunset time. And for tonight and tomorrow night, a 20% chance of a thunderstorm, low down at 72. And for the next 2 days, a 40% chance of mainly afternoon thunderstorms with a high temperature around 88. That's it, Bob.
Thanks a lot. Sounds encouraging.
Hurricane Danny came ashore this morning along the southwest coast of Louisiana with top winds sustained at 85 miles per hour. However, I've been looking at some of the wind totals coming in from that area, and one of the oil rigs offshore reported a wind gust of 116 miles per hour with Danny coming ashore. Now, one of the biggest problems with Danny is the coastal flooding now, because it came ashore right at the time of high tide in southwest Louisiana and is sent across the coast about 50 miles southeast of the Lake Charles area. This is the satellite photograph. We'll be zeroing in on that in just a moment. First, the National Weather Map. Here is Danny coming ashore in Louisiana, but its tentacles are spreading some of the heavier thunderstorms even into southwest Alabama now. We'll also be showing you that. And it looks like as the storm begins a little turn towards the northeast later in the day, Mississippi's in for quite a soaking, and so will Louisiana. Parts of Louisiana could see 10 inches of rain, parts of Mississippi perhaps 5 inches of rain, and even the western counties of Alabama. The extreme western counties could see some locally heavy rain tonight. Later on, parts of north Alabama could see some soaking rains as the remnants of Danny, which will become a tropical storm later today and then will be downgraded to a tropical depression, continues to move towards the northeast in through the Tennessee Valley and then into the Ohio Valley. So much of the nation will eventually get this tremendous ball of moisture, which is a hurricane, as it moves ashore. But the winds will be decreasing rapidly as Danny begins to die. Elsewhere, showers and thunderstorms along this frontal system will continue to press on towards the southeast very slowly. Here's tomorrow's weather map showing Danny as a tropical depression with showers and thunderstorms across, continuing across portions of Mississippi and Alabama into the Ohio Valley, and even a little bit of snow occurring in portions of northern Montana the next 24 hours. They could see quite a bit of heavy snow, especially around Glacier National Park. Well, let's give you the latest photograph we have of Danny. You can see the heavy showers and thunderstorms and its tentacles, the counterclockwise circulation, spreading its influence through South Mississippi and through portions of southwest Alabama. I told you the wind speeds as high as 116 miles per hour, but now the heavy rains are the big threat, and also the threat of tornadoes. A tornado watch in effect for South Louisiana and South Mississippi, and even parts of southwest Alabama could see some locally severe thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. We've been connected all morning long to the Lake Charles National Weather Service radar. Here's the picture at 9 o'clock this morning. The radar site is here, and this is the expansive eye, 40 to 50 miles across, just touching the coastline south-southeast of Lake Charles at that moment. We'll sequence you through the morning hours, watch the eye move onshore and become rather irregular with very heavy thunderstorms spreading right through the southern portion of Louisiana. An interesting radar picture. And now we'll take you to the current radar picture from Montgomery Stanley Field. Southwest Alabama has all the action now. We'll take you down there up close. The Mobile area right now reporting winds of over 30 miles per hour. Gale warnings in effect from Pensacola on westward. You can see some of the heavier thunderstorms. This is the edge of what is Hurricane Danny. And this activity will be continuing in this part of the state and then spreading northward through the western counties as the day goes on. Right now, the rest of Alabama is primarily dry, although some showers are starting to try to develop here in the east central section. They will become more numerous as the afternoon goes on. A look at some of the temperatures around the state as of this hour. They're ranging now from 77 degrees in Mobile, where it's kind of a stormy day. If you have any friends who went down the Gulf Shores like I do, they're having kind of a rough afternoon, occasional squalls, but you shouldn't worry about their safety. They're probably going to be all right as long as they stay indoors. Warm spot right now would be Demopolis. They're at 89 degrees. It's 86 degrees at Montgomery Stanley Field, and the skies there are partly sunny. The low temperature in Montgomery this morning, 70 after yesterday's high of 93. Our winds now are out of the south at 8, and they'll be picking up during the afternoon at 15 to 20 miles per hour at times. The dew point temperature is very high now at 75. Our humidity at 70%. Barometer falling at 30.06. We had 4/10 of an inch of rain and a very heavy thunderstorm which moved through the city yesterday evening. Lake Martin's level this morning at 488.9. That showed no change from yesterday. Lake Jordan is at 251.3. That's down a tenth. Our sunrise tomorrow morning will be at 10 minutes after 6 and setting tomorrow evening at 7:29. This afternoon, a 40% chance of thunderstorms here in central and southeast Alabama. If you're going to the coast, though, expect the rain chances to go up to 70% and some squalls and gusty winds down there. High temperatures near 90. And then tonight, a 30% chance of thunderstorms, low down to 72. Tomorrow, though, a disturbed area over the state, partially due to Danny, so a 50% chance of thunderstorms around here. High temperatures around 88. And over the weekend, Saturday through Monday, scattered mainly afternoon and evening thunderstorms with high temperatures around 90 and lows at night around 72. And that is the whole scoop on Danny at this hour.
Scoop on Danny, and we'll continue to watch the progress. Sure. Thanks, Rich.
Well, tell me what's the latest on Danny and what kind of damage did they have down around Louisiana?
Damage not heavy, and Danny is still a hurricane 8 hours after landfall. That's kind of interesting. Here's the latest satellite view we have of the storm. Danny came ashore this morning, and the storm right now is 60 miles, the center of it, 60 miles to the northeast of Lake Charles, Louisiana, continuing to lift to the north at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Hurricane force winds still being reported along the coast, mainly in oil rigs out there in gust of wind, and the gale warnings are still in effect to the east towards Pensacola, Florida. Now later tonight, undoubtedly, Danny will be downgraded to a tropical storm, and then tomorrow to a tropical depression. But Danny is not over with yet because it has quite a future as far as rainfall, and we'll be talking about that in a moment. First of all, some facts on Danny. It did come ashore at 9 o'clock this morning around Pecan Island, just off the coast of Louisiana. The highest wind gust I've seen was 116 miles per hour. That came very close to Pecan Island, and one of those oil rigs that have one of the automatic wind reporters there. That's the highest wind gust. Now, we have a satellite view of the southeastern U.S. showing that some of the outer spiral bands from Danny have been even affecting Alabama today. In fact, when we get to the radar, you'll see the bands of precipitation moving through southwest and central Alabama. So we're going to get some of the shower activity from Danny. Probably not much of the winds, although it's been a windy day around Mobile, Gulf Shores, and the rain chance is going to be pretty good for Alabama the next 36 hours. The western counties could get quite a soaking indeed. A look at the weather map tonight. Here is Danny, and this presents a problem because a hurricane has a lot of moisture with it. Where is the moisture going to go? Well, here's a stationary front, and this stationary front is going to kind of squeeze all the moisture Danny ever had in it over a large section of the northeastern United States. Coupled with that, here's a high pressure area helping to pump the moisture up. So lots of areas are going to get rain, and here's the rainfall potential map for the next 24 hours. Up to 10 inches of rain in parts of Louisiana, even southwest Mississippi during the next 48 hours, and even Alabama could see anywhere from a ½ inch to 3/4 to an inch of rain in some parts of our state. And look at where the moisture will go, right into the Appalachians by sometime, I guess by early Saturday. A look now at TV12's, actually this is Lake Charles radar earlier today. Just when the eye was touching the coastline at 9 o'clock this morning, we'll quickly sequence through the view and you can see the counterclockwise circulation of the storm. Color radar now scanning from Montgomery, showing a couple of bands of precipitation, one through central Alabama, one through southwest Alabama. Some of these have some heavy rain coming down in them now, and all the precipitation lifting to the north at about 15 miles per hour. Temperatures around the state now ranging from 76 in Mobile to 85 at Birmingham and at Auburn. It's 84 at Montgomery Stanley Field. Skies are cloudy. The low for the day 70. Today's high 90. We have south winds at 10 now, humidity 70%, and 4/10 of an inch of rain the past 24 hours. There are your lake levels in tomorrow's sunrise and sunset time. Tonight, a 40% chance of thunderstorms, low 72. Tomorrow, the rain chances go to 60%, high of 85. Tomorrow night, a 30% chance of rain, low 72. And on Saturday, look for a 40% chance of thunderstorms and a high of 88. That's it, Bob.
Or a 60% chance of sunshine.
Well, about 1 hour ago, everything was quiet in the weather office. Then things began to change quickly. We do have lots of activity in the state of Alabama. Here is the severe weather map showing a tornado watch now covering most of the state of Alabama. The only counties not included in this tornado watch are the extreme eastern and southeastern counties, and also these counties right along the coast. Everybody else under a tornado watch till 6 o'clock tonight. You also see 8 counties blinking, and these are 8 separate tornado warnings in effect for various parts of north central Alabama and west central Alabama at this hour. In fact, a tornado has apparently hit Parrish in Walker County, that's just south of Jasper, within the hour. Apparent damage and injuries there. The Birmingham Amateur Radio Club also reports considerable damage in Jasper near the medical center. All occurring within the last few minutes. Latest county to be added to the tornado warning list, a growing list, is Coleman County. Radar indicating a tornado near the Coleman-Winston County line west of the city, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. A tornado watch till 6. Now on the weather map, here's the situation. Remnants of Danny. Now very often when these hurricanes decay, they produce a lot of severe weather as they edge on to the northeast. That is happening in an explosive rate across Alabama right now. So far, it's been mainly that corridor from west central through north central Alabama. But as you can see, many more counties have been added to the possibility of a tornado or a severe thunderstorm this afternoon as this system continues moving northeast. Also, there's a flash flood watch in effect for much of western Alabama. Up to 3 inches of rain, some places even more rain could occur this afternoon and this evening as the remnants of Danny continue to move towards the northeast. The southeastern radar this afternoon shows the rain that was edging at mid-morning out of Mississippi into Alabama at that time, and the satellite view shows where the heaviest rain was located at late morning. You can see in that patch over west central Alabama, all of this rain continues to track off to the northeast. We're going to take you back to 9:45 this morning on the Montgomery radar and show you a band of rain across the western counties at that time. Notice that most of the rest of the state at 9:45 a.m. was dry. I want you, when we start to sequence it, notice this rain area edge to the east, and notice other thunderstorms begin to develop over the west of Alabama at a very quick rate. This was the picture at 11:45 this morning. We take you now to TV12's color radar scanning from Montgomery, and you see showers and heavy thunderstorms developing over all sections of Alabama, but the primary thunderstorms are in the northwestern part of the state. We'll show you some of these thunderstorms now to the south of Tuscaloosa and southeast of that city. They're moving off to the northeast, some of which contain tornadoes. Also a very big thunderstorm now located well west of Clanton in Chilton County, with all the activity tracking off to the northeast now at about 45 miles per hour.